I have somehow stayed alive for 23 years, and I regret absolutely nothing. If I could turn back time and reverse anything I've done or haven't done, I wouldn't. Now, does this mean I'm a perfect person or that I haven't done regrettable things? No. I've done many bad things. I've made many mistakes. I've done many things that are very regrettable, but I don't regret any of it. See, I'm a very what's done is done kind of person. You live and you learn. You're gonna make mistakes and bad decisions throughout your entire life. And no matter how hard you strive to be perfect, you never will be, because you're human. And the beauty of being human is that none of us are perfect. Being imperfect is what separates us from the machines. It's what separates human beings from deities. We're imperfect beings. We're not these omnipotent beings, and no one human can embody all ideal traits to perfection and do no wrong. It isn't even in our nature to do so. Humans are far too self-destructive. But this is all besides the point. Regrets. Not a single one. See, regret is of no use to me. Regret is baggage, and I gain nothing from carrying around regret with me constantly. Whatever happened, happened, and time is irreversible. So I can make things right if I can, but either way, I have to move on. And see, not having regrets doesn't mean I deny any wrongdoing. I'm simply accepting it and letting my present and future define who I am from this point on and what I will become moving forward. I use my past mistakes and wrongdoings as lessons to learn from, rather than dawning on the past and letting the shame and regret of said actions consume me. You can't succumb to these emotions, nor can you let them define what you shall ultimately become. In this modern age of man, I feel perfectionism is at an all-time high. Everybody is striving to be this perfect being, put on this perfect persona, and trying their hardest to pretend that they're simply capable of no wrong. And many of the individuals that practice this technique of deceptive virtue and perfection have massive followings and great influence as well. And somebody like Pokimane instantly comes to mind when I describe this sort of individual. There's just this mask or veil that some people seem to be able to see clean through and some people can't. And those who can't are the ones that these individuals prey upon. And see, all of this is reinforced by things like cancel culture, where individuals are intimidated and threatened by the potential loss of career, reputation, or whatever else they have to lose, to pretend they've never said or done anything wrong, and that it's safe to trust and follow them because they're righteous, virtuous, pure, clean, and perfect. But if your virtuous behavior is driven solely by the fear of consequences, then you're not so virtuous, are you? Because one must ask themselves, what is the true nature of your virtue? Genuine virtue arises from a sincere commitment to moral principles and a desire to do good for its own sake, not merely as a means to avoid punishment. Perfectionism breeds hypercritical behavior, impossible standards to uphold for oneself, and a potential lifetime of living in the shadows and drowning in one's own shame and regret. You'll be perpetually afraid to fail or make mistakes, but failure and mistakes are where you find lessons. They're where you find growth. And if you'll forever regret every single mistake you make in life, you'll be forever afraid to make mistakes. This means you'll be forever afraid to risk making mistakes, but the risk isn't worth the lifetime of regret. And so you'll play it safe forever, make no mistakes, and fail to ever learn and grow. You'll learn and grow enough to simply survive and accomplish nothing significant. You'll live a safe and mediocre life, and that's enough for many people out there, but those aren't the people I'm speaking to right now. I'm speaking to the people who want more out of life. The person sitting at home right now feeling like they're living the same day over and over again. Maybe something worth remembering will happen occasionally, but oftentimes that thing is completely out of your control anyways. They're in the passenger seat of their own life, living a slow and comfortable death. Take risks. Make mistakes in the wake of your ambition. Regret nothing and learn from everything. This is the first step to improving your condition of insignificance and mediocrity. And for those who have that one thing they regret deeply and feel shameful of and just can't quite move past, what's done is done. You have to learn to forgive yourself. You have to believe that you're capable of becoming a better you, a version of yourself who wouldn't make that same mistake again. There's a quote out there that I really like, and it's, "Holding on is believing that there's only a past And letting go is knowing that there's a future. You have to let go and accept that what's done is done and move forward. You have to stop looking back. If you're driving on a highway and you spend the entire time looking in your rear view, you're gonna crash. Take your eyes off the rear view and look ahead of you. Missing an exit doesn't mean you won't arrive wherever you're trying to get to. And constantly looking back at that wrong turn you just took isn't gonna put you back on the right road. Reroute. Don't make the same mistake again and get to where you're trying to go. You'll be forever capable of making mistakes. As long as you're human, you'll be fucking up. It's kind of what we do best. You must embrace being human. And I feel like that's something that people don't do enough. Many people seem ashamed to be human. We look back upon human history in disgust at the things that have taken place throughout our history. So much so that we hold the people of today accountable for the actions of individuals in the past. People that had nothing to do with anything. And I mean, how much of what we do today will people look back upon in the future and condemn us for? We're no better than the people that preceded us. We're just making different mistakes and we can't see them yet. It's like everybody's trying to be as perfect as they can now, so nobody in the future will have anything to condemn us for. But trust me, we'll end up no better than anybody else throughout history. There will be students sitting in a history class hundreds of years from now studying this very day, saying to themselves, how could they do such a thing? So don't overthink it. We won't be alive to hear them condemn us. There will be no justice served for the mistakes we unknowingly commit today. None of us will be alive to serve the sentence. Regret is an exertion of your energy. It'll lead to mental deterioration if not addressed properly. Work on accepting your mistakes rather than dawning on them. Work on being a better person today, tomorrow, and every day after that, rather than being ashamed of the individual you once were. Leave that person in the past. Today is a new day. Tomorrow is a new tomorrow, and a new you is birthed upon every wake up. So be a better you. You can't see every failure or mistake as the end all be all. Many of our lowest points in life are oftentimes what lead us to our highest points. One door closes, another one opens. And just because you can't see that new opportunity now, doesn't mean it's not there. I remember a long time ago, my mom got fired from her job at a hospital, and it was a real dark time for the family. We were already low on money, and this obviously really hurt us. And though it was looking very bleak at the time, this led her to finding a different job in a completely different industry and making over quadruple what she made at that hospital. But the thing is, if she never got fired from that job, she would have just stayed there, and she'd still be there till this very day, likely making the same pennies she was making. In the moment, it was an awful time, but in hindsight, it was actually a blessing for us all. But see, what she didn't do was sit around and regret what happened and lose all hope. She accepted it for what it was. She moved forward, she remained ambitious, and she accomplished something great. So don't just shrivel up and tell yourself you're a failure and wallow in your regret like a little bitch. And remember, every setback is just a setup for a comeback. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and feel free to let me know, if you wish, what's something that was really tough for you to get over, something that you regretted deeply, or maybe that you're still struggling with getting over. I'm very curious to hear what different people are experiencing out there. Feel free to follow me on Instagram if you wish. It's at I Love Halloween. The O in love is a 0. I've been trying to post more frequently and be more active on there, so that's been fun. And yeah, enjoy the rest of y'all's day. Stay healthy. Peace.